Very okay, very well. I mean, perfectly all right. So I'm sure that the first day or the first few days you started running, you were not running 42 kilometers right from the get-go. It would have been maybe 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly
were
right,
there any
mate. So,
gadgets which helped you out? Because running a marathon
mm,
is not a joke by any stretch of imagination. So, what do you think, which is the best way forward, and how did you added the mileage into your run? And I mean, if you could share, what was your the first step towards maybe 10 kilometer? What was your first milestone and the
yeah,
second milestone? Because it is insane if you consider
it is. It really is.
more than
From
40
like people
kilometers.
that don't run
It is
looking into this, they probably think I'm nuts. And there's a lot of people out there that doing crazy stuff these days. So how I first started, I had a bit of a base of fitness level just because, sports, obviously you're going to gain a bit of fitness by playing football, soccer, cricket, just general fitness. But my diet was really bad, so that's why I was pretty unfit. Um, just can't run as
mhm.
far. So I set myself a task. So where I lived, I had like a block around my house, and that was about an 800-meter block. So I honestly didn't go on distance. I went on like a time. So my first step was like, right, I'm going to get out and run for 3 to 5 minutes and take walk breaks if needed. And
Okay.
it's the matter of staying consistent and just gradually um
Mhm.
improving. And once I started to see like, wow, I'm improving here like week by week, because it is, you got to stay patient with this sort of stuff, but you got to stay consistent. That is the main thing. So I don't know if you know what Strava is, but I found out about that. That's how you track your runs and share the distance you are covering, and people can give you kudos and whatnot. So I found out about that. So I downloaded that on my phone, started doing heaps more runs, progressed to like a 3 kilometer run non-stop. Really happy about that. Then we went to 5, and then few weeks go by, we go to tens, and that goes on for months on months, and then playing footy, and then we go to raise the bar even higher, and that's when we start
Sure. Yeah.
testing ourselves. We start running longer.
Very,
I'm fitter,
very nice.
obviously. My VO2 max is getting
Yeah.
higher. I'm eating better, and then yeah, I keep doing long runs, and then there was a time where I decided I want to push myself more, so I entered myself in a marathon. So that's, yeah, a massive run.
Mhm.
If you don't know what that is, that's a 42.2 kilometer run. So I entered myself in the Hobart Cadbury Marathon to test myself,
Yeah.
and yeah, just gradually build it up. Like, just kept building week by week, month by month. I probably wasn't consistent when I first started, but the way I was loving it with running and what it was doing for my mental health, physical health, yeah, it's just about me staying consistent.
Very nice. So you talked a lot about eating right. So what is really, I mean, what is really eating right? I'm sure that the junk food should be out of the way,
Yeah,
but for a runner like you, who's around 20 years of age, what is your daily, eating habit like, and what is your lunch like? What is your
yeah.
dinner like? If you like to lunch,
Like, are you talking about this day or like when I was trying to lose weight? Are we talking about now? Now these days, or
both it, yeah,
like both?
yeah,
Yeah, so back in 2018 when I started, I made sure I was in a calorie deficit. So that's
okay,
so you're eating less than you burn while
hmm,
still doing exercise. So you gradually eventually lose weight if you keep sticking to the plan. But tried my best to cut out sugar because I was a massive sugar head, still kind of am to this day. But I try and limit, chocolate and all the good stuff as much as I can. But there's days where I can't. It's just the cravings. But in moderation, it's good, but not all the time. But just cutting out all that sort of stuff. I got really strict, eating, the good stuff that's good for you, the veggies, the mince, the chickens, but also feeling my body, having, good carbohydrates, pasta dishes, all sorts, roast spud, just a general like healthy diet with losing weight and that sort of
Very
stuff.
nice.
But
Very nice.
now
Okay.
these days, um, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of carbohydrates because I'm running huge
Yeah.
kilometer, having huge training days. So sometimes I just have to kind of smack in whatever I can get just to replenish my body because I'm burning so many calories on like my 60 and 70 kilometer training runs. So you just got
Okay.
to get the protein, heaps of carbohydrates, heaps of salt, electrolytes, and all that sort of stuff.
Very nice. So these days it is, I'm sure that I think the winters have been quite mild as per Tasmanian standards, but still it is not as easy to get outside in maybe,
Yeah,
12 to 13 centigrade in the cold. So what
yeah,
time of the day, if you're free, what time of the day you like to train outside? And what is your daily training like? You run daily for these 20-25 kilometers, or if you are injury free specifically, or you try
yeah.
to break it down into.
Yeah, for sure. So I work I'm a casual support worker. So
Okay,
like it just dictates off what my work schedule's like. So I just usually try to run whenever I get because I do a lot of split shifts. So like my hours are not your normal 9 to 5 for everyone's normal jobs. So I'm all over the place with free time and whatnot and working. So my usual time for runs is usually early morning, usually between 6 to 8, or if not, it can be from like 11 a.m. onwards. I'm running any time I can. Like if you follow me on Strava, you'll notice how I'm running at any time. Just like it can be
yeah,
mid afternoon, 3 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night.
right,
Yeah,
very nice.
5 a.m.
Okay.
Like yeah,
How tough it is to run outside in a cold, morning, the cold Tasmanian morning. How tough
it's
it is. You
tough.
need to have a lot of care. Yeah,
Yeah, it's tough. You got to rug up for tough Tasmanian mornings, but once your body warms up, you're usually pretty right. But it's the matter of waking up to the cold, chucking on something
yeah,
warm, just getting warmed up, with strides and running, and then you usually come right. It's just the hard first 20 minutes of you know suffering with the cold is what it is, but it's starting to clear up now. It's starting to be really nice weather
yeah.
towards the end of winter. So happy days for Tassie.
Yeah. So for top achievers and athletes like yourself, we understand that the influence of their elders or the sport group or the parents has been quite influential. So that was in the family, the fitness and the running routine, or it
Yep.
came directly into your mind that you need to get going if you are to excel in football, or there was some genes in the family which you think you can also relate to.
Yeah. Okay. So wait, I had tough to hear that because it cut it out. Mine. Do you, sorry to be a pain, but do you mind repeating that? It just cut it out. Sorry.
So your family also, anyone from your family also been into running, or is it only yourself?
Oh yeah. So my father. He did all kinds of like sporting. So he was a really good footballer. AFL football. He
Mhm.
didn't play AFL, but God, he was pretty close by the stories he's told me. Great cricketer. Yeah, he had a really
Yeah,
good could bowl some really heat pace, like really fast. Um, Great swimmer. He was an all-round athlete by the sounds of the stories he's been telling me. So for sure I get that strength off him, I reckon, and a bit of my family genes. My great dad was a boxer, so that's probably where a bit of the mental toughness comes in. I don't know. But yeah,
mm,
all my families had some pretty good sporting background. Not much running, but they have run,
yeah,
but not what I'm doing, not the ultras
yeah.
and that sort of stuff.
So you won the Penguin Marathon, I suppose. So would you like to share that? What is your completion time these days, and you are looking to improve it? I know that a lot of questions are coming towards marathon, but we will end up talking about your run around Tasmania for sure. But just another
Yeah,
question about marathon. Would you like to share And you're still young. I mean, 20 years of age, and I
Yeah,
understand that the marathoners peak their performance around 30 years of age. So you are eyeing towards, the long distance runs towards Olympics,
yeah,
maybe, or outside Australia.
yeah. So you just want me to discuss about the Penguin Marathon? Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a pretty big honestly, like in my head, I was running just because I loved it, but I was doing stuff that because I was still planning on playing footy that next year, but I was doing ridiculous amount of kilometers. Like over that pre-season, I banged out in the span like October. I did 100 kilometer ultra runs just to test myself. So I'm
Okay.
like, you don't really do this, hey? Do like train for football, don't you? Yeah, like it's not really heard of a football player doing 100 kilometer run. Like, so I'm just
Yeah.
thinking, like, geez, I probably should do running. What am I doing football for? And then I ended on doing heaps of running. Um, yeah, so another 100 kilometers in December as well. But I signed up before the Penguin Marathon. I signed up for the Cadbury again and got
Okay.
a pretty hefty good PB of 2 hours and 39 minutes. So
Okay.
obviously from that,
Fantastic.
I was on a high. I was loving it, and I found out from a few people I know that the Penguin Marathon was coming up in February. So I did the Hobart Marathon. That was in January, and I heard that
Hmm.
the Penguin one was next month, and I was wrapped to keep on continue the race and that sort of stuff. So I signed up for that and just kept on running, keep hammering the pavement, and a week out from that race, a person told me that there was a really good runner doing that race, and his PB was a pretty hefty time.